What's up, everybody? It is 6 in the morning and I am super tired. I'm headed to pick up yet another project. My buddy Grant, meeting him at his shop and picking up a few of these little painted or ornate wood turtles. These guys are really cool, and just figured, you know, I actually got my start into reptiles with turtles growing up in Florida. So it's pretty cool that, you know, after 20 years, I'm going to be adding some turtles again. So anyway, that's what this episode is going to be about, and I look forward to doing something a little different with these guys. This is something that actually is really kind of a joint project between myself and my youngest, Olivia. She's really excited about these. So anyway, thought you guys might enjoy something a little different, a little change of scenery, and yeah, hope you guys like it. All right, guys, so the turtles have been picked up and we're on our way back, and I'll show you guys the setup here in a few minutes.
All right, so we're back, got the turtles all set up, and what I wanted to do was go over a setup of how you would put together a cage for small hatchling turtles. Now, this is something that this could be applied to like box turtles, wood turtles. These are turtles that are semi-aquatic, or turtles that do spend a considerable amount of time on land. So this is not something that you'd want to use for like cooters or sliders or map turtles or like terrapins. Those species of turtles that spend most of their time in the water and are primarily aquatic, this will not apply to those. But let's take a look. All right, so as you guys can tell, this is one of those big cement mixing tubs that you can get at your local hardware store. I got mine at Lowe's. I think I spent about $12 on it. Just to give you guys a little bit of a size reference, from this corner here to this corner, it's roughly 32 inches. So we're looking at almost 3 feet. So these are not the smaller ones, these are actually the larger ones. And the height is roughly 8 inches, just to give you an idea. But you guys over in Europe, I'm sure you guys have your own version. It doesn't have to be these here. It could technically be one of the ones that's, you know, you could use a vision tub that's made for the racks. But as you can tell, there's not a lot of water in this. I'm sure you could use it for aquatic species. You could probably use it fine, but the way I have it set up is for species that spend a lot of time on the ground. You could use it for tortoises as well. I have it set up to where it offers a lot of little microclimates, which I'm going to get into to talking about here in a second. But these right here, this is the food dish and this is the water dish. Again, this is for wood turtles, or you know, you could use it for box turtles or whatnot. It's maybe an inch deep. It's not very deep at all. And these are just the planter bases that you would put your plants on. I have some potted plants in here. You see these right here. These are 2 different plants. These are 2 different ones. I've got some moss over here. This is some pothos that's planted in there. I do have springtails in here, so if I dig this up, I wonder if you guys could even see the springtails in there. You probably can't, but there are springtails that are all living inside of this. So, you know, the cocoa husk is actually just the top layer. And if these animals, you can't even see the babies right now because they burrow down and they get underneath the substrate where it's pretty humid and pretty moist. I've got some leaves in there. The white powder is actually a calcium supplement. As babies, I keep them indoors. So this is what I use right here. This is with D3. If I was keeping them outdoors, I might use the Repticalcium without D3, but this is what I use. And I sprinkle that on the food. It's just a white powder. These guys get everything from romaine lettuce, strawberries, bananas. I have put lean ground beef in there. I haven't had a lot of luck with that. They do get butterworms. They'll even eat dubia roaches. They need a lot of protein when they're younger because they're growing and trying to develop those shells. But this is pretty cool. You know, I have moss in here. Just to give you guys an idea, if I dig this up, it's pretty wet underneath here. You can't really tell, but it's pretty damp. So these guys have a lot of different areas they can go in. They can go in right here. Now, the way I have this set up at home is I have UVB coming up here, and then I have another clamp over on this side that is a ceramic heat emitter. So they've got heat here, and they're getting the sunlight from the UVB, and then they're getting extra heat here. So there's a lot of different areas they can go to dig down. Now, what I want to show you guys is this is pretty much what they do when they're younger. Here's one who's just burrowed down. The other one is right there. So that's these guys. Now I will take them and sit them in their water, give them a little bit of a drink. See how much lighter? Look how versatile the color, or how variable the color is. This one on the right is much lighter than the others, than the other one. Now, there's only 2 in here. I could probably put 3 or 4, but I think after 4 I'd be pushing it. I don't want to, you know, put too much in there as far as competition for food and everything. But these guys become pretty tame captives. I mean, they're not aggressive by any means, but they get very kind of fearless and coming out and greeting you. They start associating you with food. So yeah, so this is the setup for the babies. These guys are actually the smallest species of wood turtle. These are the painted wood turtles. They live in rainforests of like Nicaragua and Costa Rica. They typically hang out around streams. They can tolerate cooler temperatures. I try not to let them see anything below 60 degrees though. But one thing that's really cool about these guys is look at these shells. Look how much color they have. And I don't know if you can tell, but the top of the shell is amazing. But the plastron, they just continue to gain color with age. This is one of the few species that actually get brighter with age. And if I can get them to poke their heads out, you can see that they actually have a lot of really pretty orange or red markings on their head. But they become really used to you, used to the keeper, and they will start to come out and greet you. And they're really cool turtles. And as I was saying, they're the smallest species, so of wood turtles, they only get to be maybe 5 to 6 inches, probably 4 to 6 inches, depending on if it's a male or female. But as they grow, they become almost completely more of a herbivore. You know, they're going to be eating anything really, but they don't need the protein as much, so they start feeding much more on like vegetation and stuff like that. But as babies, you definitely want to offer them like butterworms and stuff like that. You don't want to offer them anything that's going to be hard for them to digest, like this exoskeletons of mealworms and stuff like that can be kind of tough, although they'll still eat them. They really like butterworms. They go crazy over butterworms. They like little earthworms. Really, these guys are going to eat anything that they can find, really. I put a banana in there, and they really like the bananas. They're very curious. They're almost going to take a nibble of almost anything you put in there. But look at that top of that shell. That's just amazing to me. Now, this one's a little bit darker, but on the underneath side, on the plastron, they're equally as beautiful. I haven't had these guys very long, obviously, but as they grow, they kind of will get to know me a little bit more. You can see this one here underneath side is already starting to poke his head out a little bit. But yeah, so these are really cool turtles. If you're wanting to get something, but you don't want to get anything that gets big, and you're not really looking to get a tortoise because you like turtles, but you really don't want to deal with an aquatic setup, try these guys out, because they don't really need They don't need much room as babies, obviously, but they don't need a lot of water. That being said, they do need some room to roam around as they grow, because they are wood turtles, so these guys are going to move about. So I would definitely want to give them ample space, and you would want to give them a water feature in their adult enclosures. But I think that they're just really, really fun to interact with, cool to watch, and you know, anyway, painted or ornate wood turtles from Central America. Check them out. They're really, really fun. All right, as you guys know, you've been watching Godbold Exotics. Thanks for tuning in.